Welcome, brothers and sisters in Christ. I have another testimony for you. And Testimony Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday, so I'll just call it Testimony Tuesday. When I see a lot of testimonies out there, people who are doing commentaries and reactions, I see a lot of people doing ones that are, like testimonies like I went to hell, I went to heaven. And no, there's no way for me to know if people are telling the truth, but, I'm not going to choose certain ones that other people are doing. I try to choose the ones that are edifying, right? I don't want to see a rap star say this, and then the next thing you know, he's off doing something. It's just a ploy to make money and get attention. I don't want to be that channel, but I'll expose darkness though. Excuse me. So my last one there was about the police officer, and this one with PTSD, and this one is a story that will give you PTSD. I guess I'll just give you a quick overview and then I'll let it play. It's pretty short, but put yourself in her position, especially if you're a woman, but a similar thing could happen to a man. That, I don't know if I want to say. Okay, yes, I'll say it. She was stuck in a bathroom. I guess she had gone to the bathroom. I've only seen this once very quickly, but I knew I wanted to do it. And she came out of the stall or something like that, and there was a big muscular man, and she basically was locked inside the stall because she was so afraid. No one else was in the bathroom, and he was like blocking the door, and she was in there for a prolonged amount of time. And she comes to, although she believes God is real, she felt the power of Jesus Christ and truly believed during this event. So let's see what this is about. I think the volume may be a bit loud. I'm not sure how to turn this down particularly, but at least you can hear it, right?
But I never truly felt him.
It may be on my end. Let's back that up.
But I had always grew up knowing that God was real, but I never truly felt him.
Okay. Yeah.
In 2012, I studied abroad in Australia. I was traveling up from Byron Bay back up to Brisbane. I went into a hostel, and I was only going to be there for one night. Went straight to bed, and then at 12:45 in the morning, I woke up and had to go to the bathroom. As I was leaving, I opened the door, and I see this guy come by, and I instantly got a really negative feeling about him. He was a tall guy, and broad shoulders, really big muscles, and he was barefoot. I shut the door and I thought, okay, I'm going to go back into the bathroom and I'm going to sit in this stall and just wait maybe 10 minutes. And just sit there waiting. And I hear the door open and I think, oh yes, a girl's coming in. I'll walk out with her, but I don't hear the person go anywhere. I hear breathing really softly. I lean forward and look behind me, and I see the guy's feet standing right there. And then I heard the guy go and turn on the sink. One after the other. He goes back into the corner where I can't see him. And And he walks down to where the showers are, turns on every single shower, one by one. This guy is gonna mute the sound. If he tries to come and hurt me, he can easily crawl under this door and grab me.
Can you imagine this? Sounds like a movie, right? Big guy, broad shoulders, you're in a hostel. Who knows who was even close around, right?
The showers had been on for a while. I was curious what he was doing, so I leaned forward. And when I looked under, I saw him on all fours, and he was staring right back at me.
It's like a scary movie.
I sat back up right away. I was waiting for him to go back in the shower. And he was standing there waiting for me. And I just sat there and I started praying. And I said, God, I know that you're real. I know that you're here with me. And please protect me from this man. Whatever he's here to do, please just be with me. I put my hands on the stall door and I began praying. God, please protect me within these doors. And God, just put a shield around me. Put a shield. Don't let him come under the doors to grab me. Shield of thank you for complete protection. Thank you for loving me. Put a shield around me. And when I kept repeating, God is real, God is real, God is real, God is real, I truly knew that God was going to get me out of there. Don't let this guy come in. And then I felt God's voice telling me to pray for him. And so I started praying and I said, God, please let this boy realize that you love him and he's your son. He's a son of a king, and he doesn't have to do this. I remember just feeling love for the guy, God's love for him. My heart was pounding, and my body was telling me, like,
that's true love,
this is not an okay situation. God's voice was telling me, I have you in my arms, and I have...
What she's speaking about, she loved him. That's quite courageous, man. First of all, to have that much trust in that situation. Can you imagine the fear in that room? You know, he's like probably twice as strong as her. And they've been in there for like an hour. A scripture comes to mind, and I think you may also, you probably thought of it a while back when she was explaining this, when she started to pray. And I'll read that, I think, at the end.
I have you so tight that this guy's not going to do anything. And I love you. I remember my prayer was, God, thank you for sending that girl in here to get me out safe. Thank you for being here for me. God, thank you for sending a girl. I hear someone come to the door.
Wait, I have to back it up.
Thank you for sending that girl. I remember my prayer was, God, thank you for sending that girl in here to get me out safe. Thank you for being here for me. God, thank you for sending a girl. I hear someone come to the door.
So, like, I guess I missed this part. If you haven't seen me before, by the way, on doing these videos, yeah, I'll choke when I talk and speak. It's just, I have a throat disorder, a muscular throat disorder. It just happens, pardon me. It's like stuck in my throat. What I'm getting from this, I didn't see this before. Is she praying for a girl to enter in. That's what I hear. That she's praying for it.
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is it. God has answered my prayer. Girl's coming. And the guy runs to the door and just holds it shut.
Okay.
And so no one comes in. Then he goes and stands back where I can't see him, and he shuts the door, so it sounds like he's left. But I was still scared to leave because I had prayed for a girl, and I didn't want to doubt that.
I'm going to tell you experience I went through.
So I pretended that a friend called me, and I pretended that I was really sick. Oh, you tried to come in here? Well, what do you mean you couldn't get in? Well, why don't you go up to reception and let them let you in?
Smart.
Probably 5 minutes or so, I hear the door shut, and I thought, please, God, please let him be gone.
She pretended to be on the phone and speaking to somebody that they knew where she was. Smart.
I hear the door open again, and then the stall next to me opens. I looked down and I saw girl feet, and her toes were painted. I unlatched my door right when she unlatched hers and just ran to her crying, ran up to reception, and I remember looking at the clock, and I had been in the bathroom for 2.5 hours.
Wow, man.
We told the reception guy all about it, and he saw the guy on the camera running. I could not stay there for the night, and so I grabbed my things. But before I left, I asked the reception guy, I said, when you talk to the guy, when you file the police report, can you ask him, why did he not do anything? I thought it was strange that he was in there for 2.5 hours and he didn't come under the saw or hit the door, something. A week later, I go back home and I get an email. Hi, Elizabeth, we've filed the police report about this activity, and I actually got to talk to the guy and ask him what was up. The guy told me that he didn't do anything to you because he felt something blocking him from you. He was waiting for you to come out of that stall.
Crazy.
Something blocking. And the receptionist put that in quotes because he said he didn't know what that meant.
Is that what she means? Put it in the comments section. She actually got to speak to him? Don't you find that strange that she got to speak to him? Because, those are just things that usually don't happen. But obviously maybe he got caught with the camera. I don't know. I don't know the rest of the story, so it's very short.
But I knew what that meant. I looked at those
I'll back
words.
it up just a
The
bit.
receptionist put that something blocking. And the receptionist put that in quotes because he said he didn't know what that meant. But I knew what that meant.
Blocked.
I looked at those words over and over, just started praising God because I knew that he was real. I knew that.
Sorry, I know I've interrupted so many times. He said that he felt blocked, and she knew the reason. It was God. Isn't that amazing? He
was my protector. Whenever I have doubt about God, I just picture me being in that bathroom, remembering how he rescued me. My name is Elizabeth Liebrick, and this is my story.
Sorry. The Lord saves. Says, I will rescue those who love me. I will protect those who trust in my name. When they call on me, I'll answer. I'll be with them in trouble. Psalm 91. I want to cry. I'm not kidding you. If you can feel like you're going to cry to such stuff, you know you're in the right state. What I wanted to say was a few things. In the book of, read 1st and 2nd Kings, there's a lot to take in there. But when it says in, I don't know what it is, to Moses and Exodus, and it's in several places. Um, it's in about 3 places that I can think of where God says, if you don't do this, 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 and this, then, if you don't follow me like the heart that David had to follow in all the statutes, then I will do this to you. And if you come back, remember Solomon's prayer when he finished the temple, when he spoke to God there, that if you're girded with sackcloth and all that, and you're genuinely sorry for what you've done, God will come back. And if you're in trouble, so it brings me to a verse, I'll look it up, and there's a lot of, how do I get rid of this? There. There's a lot of contention, and it's coming from me now. Let's see if I can find it on here. I would say there's a debate about this. No weapon shall prosper. Yeah, of course it's not going to, but I know it's probably in Psalms. Let's look for it. I believe David said it. No weapon, it'll come up, formed against me shall prosper. Looks like a KJV. Oh, okay. I thought it was also in Psalms. It is. But let's read this. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is a heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, says the Lord. Let's look up Psalms. Psalm 42. Where is it? Is it underneath it? Did not David say this? Okay, so but that's what David believed anyways. And there's contention about that, because of course you can't go on with the mind that like you're gonna win every fight and stuff like that, as in like if there's a physical fight and I don't know. I think if you put your faith and trust in God, I think that's what it means. It means then no weapon shall prosper against you. To be honest, I would have to read more and learn about specifically what that means, because I know there are persecuted born-again believers, right? Because we live in the West, but I guess to that I would say that's probably mostly true. God puts a box around us. What does it say? He encamps around us. Let's look for that and then finish this off. The Lord encamps. The angels of the Lord. Now, Psalm 34:7. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Well, in that story, that was most certainly true, wasn't it? Sounds like a scary movie. When I was watching movies, I was a lot into horror movies and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, obviously, the movie Hostel makes me think about that. Those movies, thinking now, are just disgusting. All those types of movies. I'll tell you a story, a personal story. Just give me a second here. It usually causes anyone PTSD. I try to take the approach that I shouldn't feel shame for some of the things I went through. And this is one of them. Pardon me. I was about 24. I was about 24 years old. And I was like at the tail end of the, if you've seen my life story, you can go back and look at my videos. I give my 4-part testimony. It was supposed to be shorter, but I kept forgetting stuff. And I was just beginning painkillers, and I was somewhere where I shouldn't have been. And I went with some people who I thought were my friends. You know, you learn these lessons later in life. I was at a party and I was there, and I didn't want to leave because I was having too much of a good time, and they left, and I was left with people who I didn't even know. That was the stupidity and my debased mind. And there was a really big guy there. I'm not kidding you. He was 6'8". 6'8". He was probably 270 pounds. Not kidding you. I'm not like embellishing anything here. And I think he knew for some reason, like I had money and I was sick. I was sick. And I was in a place where I could probably barely defend myself. For one of the times in my life I couldn't. And he cornered me as I was walking out. And he demanded that I give my wallet, and I did. It was the only time I couldn't really defend myself. I remember feeling shame for that. But hey, at least I walked away, and I ended up calling the police on the guy. So, yeah. That's why I make things, talk about that, like PTSD. Could have easily caused PTSD. I don't think that did, but that's besides the point. There are some bad people out there that don't have good intentions for you. Just like that man in that bathroom. God bless and thank you for watching this video.